Hey everyone, and welcome to the Fantasy Fiends show. I am your host, Stevie Collier, and I am honored to have my brother, my friend, Annie Peliquin, author of so many books that it will blow your mind, and you can just get the Kindle Unlimited subscription just for his stuff, and it'll last you 3 years.
You know, for people who get Kindle Unlimited, I think they read a lot faster than that. Like, there's some of these people, the Dungeon Master from Monday's game, Greg. He goes through like each of my Cerberus books in like a day or 2 days or something.
What?
It's insane.
Are you kidding me?
I know. He's like, I have to wait for 2 books to come out because I blaze through them all so fast. And I am lucky to get through a book in a couple of weeks. Actually, I've been super lucky. I found a David Weber novel that's kind of similar to the Cerberus series. Like, it's special forces and there's an AI and there's all kinds of really cool stuff. So I loved it. I got super sucked in. And then right now I'm reading this really interesting, it's like a neo-punk martial arts futuristic thriller kind. It's basically like any of those awesome Jet Li martial arts movies, but in sort of a futuristic Korea. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm almost done with the book. And then I've got Rhythm of War, which is going to take right now.
Wait.
It's 5,000 pages on my iPad. It's insane how big that book is.
Oh, wait, Rhythm of War. What is this? Oh, is it
Stormlight Archives 4.
When did this come out?
2 days ago.
Wow, that was
3 days ago.
Pretty quick from the last one.
Oh yeah, it's Brandon Sanderson. You know, he puts out books like a machine.
Really, and they're just so amazing too. I listened to him though. I was listening to Oathbringer. Is the second one?
Third one. Words of Radiance is second.
Okay, and I didn't finish the third one, but it was really good. I was going through a tough time, so now I have like, what is it? Taste aversion to it. So kind of like, well, you know what happened today. I was in a part in the book, and now I'm just like, now that part of the book has a bad taste in my mouth.
Maybe. I'm telling you. This series, so Stevie, for those of you who don't know the conversation that Stevie and I have been having over email for the last couple of weeks, which is everybody, Stevie's finally reading the Red Rising series, which I told him to read. I actually binge listened to it at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. And this series is like the first book was like the Hunger Games on just the most steroids ever. And it was just so dark and epic. Like, people die right and left. You never know what's going to happen. The book that Stevie's reading, it's got some of the most mind-blowing things. He's on book 2 right now.
Like, I'm on 3. I'm on 3. I'm on Morningstar.
So that end of book 2
yes.
was just like, what the shit?
It was almost too much.
Exactly.
I was like, is this really how the story ends? I feel like it'd piss a lot of people off. Like, it's a huge cliffhanger.
Oh, and it was done so all the horrible stuff happened, and then he one-upped himself. And this is one of the reasons that I love the Red Rising series, is that there is literally nothing that he won't do to his characters. And it is just so dark, but it's like so incredibly well done. I'm actually really, really worried because the 6th book should be coming out soon. And if it's the final book in the second Red Rising trilogy, and I think it's the end of the world, like, he's going to kill everybody. And I do mean everybody. And I'm super worried about that.
Wow. So the one I'm reading now, the third one, actually has an ending to it. We know what happens.
So it's 2 trilogies.
Yeah.
So the first trilogy has its end, and then the second trilogy picks up, I think, 10 years later.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And so the one thing that I didn't like about the second trilogy was that in the beginning, in the first one, it's all Darrow's point of view. It's all the main character. It's tight, one POV.
Oh, no.
Which is awesome when I'm listening to it, because Tim Gerard Reynolds, he is just one of the best audiobook narrators out there. So it was awesome. In books 4, 5, and 6, it's 4 point of view characters. And so his voice is still awesome. I know. It bothered me too.
I hate that.
But it's worth it.
Ultimately. It's worth it. Okay, because I wasn't gonna. Now that you told me that, I wasn't gonna go on to book.
Are you reading or listening?
Listening, and it's fantastic. Okay. Oh, Jesus! how the hell does he do that?
He
Every
is
character is
amazing.
different. I don't
He is
understand how
truly
you're
amazing.
when he started doing Holiday, I was like, dude, your voice, like, how do you do it? Guys, we're like little fangirls here. Go read Red Rising. Andy's been talking about it forever, and I was like, well, I never wanted to read Hunger Games because I thought it was too kiddish. I also don't really follow fads really well. It's actually what my personality type. We got to be different. Red Rising was that little supplement, and god dang, the first book was my least favorite, and I've never been able to say that.
Honestly, up until the whole Hunger Games third of it, which is basically when they go into the academy and they're all like dropped onto that, island or whatever, and they have to start living and all of that. I was kind of hit or miss. The world was really interesting. The character was fine. I could understand what he was dealing with. The metamorphosis chapter, okay, I was into it. I
that was a good one. That got me.
But then as soon as he gets onto the desert, onto that island, and then you see them start killing each other, and then you see them start like turning into cannibals, and then you see them, enter house warfare, and it's just like, what the shit is this? And it was just so good. It kept me going until eventually it was just like I was burning through that, like that last third. I actually went to the gym extra and stayed longer.
I've been doing the same thing.
I customized my workout so that I could listen more.
For real. Man, I've been doing more mindless work to do it, but I mean, guys, yeah, they are lax today. I want to see some more penis stuff in the comments. Come on, let me see some penises in the comments. That would be, if this channel was monetized right there, that would mean this video would not be monetized. I think, unless Viagra can do a
I don't know.
Oh, you're like, okay, it's not an intelligent conversation anymore. I'm out. Yeah. No, but I was going to say, I've only found one subjective flaw with the story, but it's subjective, and I would have people agree, have people disagree. But I will say, when I was talking to Lisa about it, I was like, and this son of a bitch doesn't use the word that at all. I've been listening and listening. I'm like, how does he do it? And there's no passive verbs. I'm like, how's he do it? This is only his like sixth book. Sixth. I realize, I think I've told everybody here, but it was through the Fantasy Fiends podcast that I learned I had a lisp, a very minor lisp. And my brother was just talking about it nonchalantly. He's like, oh yeah, your little lisp. And I'm like, my what? He goes, yeah, your lisp. And I'm like, I don't have a lisp. He's like, what? Stevie, you've had it for all your life. And he's like, say 16. I'm like, 16. He's like, now say sixth. And I'm like, sixth. I was blown away. I have a speech, like a very small speech impediment, because I say my S's with my tongue to the right, and it's supposed to be centered, apparently. What the fudge, man? Yeah, it's interesting. It's ammo for my brother now that he knows I didn't know that I had it. Now it's a new self-conscious thing he can grab onto like a toddler and just rip me apart internally. But one more thing about Red Rising series, guys, it's made me a better writer. Like the descriptions this guy uses is fantastic. I never thought of using the verb to belch with smoke. I love that. So I'm actively listening to learn. But
I'll say this, the scene, have you been on the scene where they're on the ice planet and there's all that combat there with, I think it's like the bad, I don't know if it's Ajax or someone, like when they're on the ice planet with Ragnar and they're fighting all those monsters and stuff. I was snowboarding while I was listening to that.
Perfect timing.
I felt like the biggest badass on earth, because I was snowboarding and it's all this combat and all this awesome stuff going on. Obviously, I was going like super slow because I'm still kind of a shitty snowboarder, but it was like, you feel so cool when you listen to a really awesome combat scene while you're going down the hill.
That was one of my favorite parts, I gotta say. And something happens after that when they're following somebody. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be like 3 or 4 books before. Oh man, I feel bad, guys. I know we're talking about something you guys probably don't know anything about, but take all this and just go listen. I would say listen. I mean,
listen to the Red Rising series, because Tim Gerard Reynolds is sort of like I don't know, who's like a stellar actor of today, like one of the top actors of today.
Does he act? He needs to act.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't act. It's all his voice. But he is basically, he's like one of the top 3 audiobook narrators in fantasy today.
Wow. So who who else has he done? People we know, right?
Michael J. Sullivan. He's done so many, like so many of the top books out there are done by Tim Jared Reynolds. Michael Kramer, Tim Jared Reynolds, and now Nick Podell. These are probably the 3 top names in fantasy today.
Wow, he's doing some newer. Oh, he did J.A. Andrews? What?
Yeah, the Keeper Chronicles.
Was that recent?
Yeah, that was done through Wraithmarked Creative, which is a publishing house that's fairly new, run by Bryce O'Connor and possibly
the author.
Yeah, who did the Iron Prince and A Mark of Kings and all of that.
Yeah, I emailed him. He's really nice. I mean, he's super busy, but he's really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, man. The people that we've had on this show have grown so much already.
Yeah.
A lot of them have. The ones who stuck with it, But wow, this has so much has changed. We go back and watch the first episode. I mean, I've grown way more handsome with my hair. And
I would say that all of the hair that you've gained, I've slowly been losing. Like if you watch the first episode, my hairline was probably like down to here.
I honestly haven't even noticed. So I'm trying to see you as bald. I think you could pull it off, man. Yeah.
There you go.
Especially if you keep the beard.
Oh, the beard is when this eventually goes, I'm gonna shave it all off and get like the big long Viking beard.
Like Ragnar.
Yeah. That's actually so my wife hates that idea. But
I bet she does.
the guy who cuts my hair, he also does her hair. And he's like, it would look really cool.
It would.
Validation.
I had my beard long enough that I could braid each side because it naturally makes like these devil horns. You see that?
Yeah.
I actually have to cut it to keep that shit from happening because I feel like I'm like a little billy goat walking around with like 2 testicles on my chin. 2 hairy testicles, see?
Yeah.
But I tied those with
Mr. Tumnus.
Who?
Mr. Tumnus. From Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, I remember him. My grandma was I was stuck in a hotel room when I read that book with my grandma, and she was smoking like a chimney. And I remember I got addicted to the smell because I couldn't stand it. I hated it. And then I got addicted to the smell, which I didn't know was possible, but it is. And I went and opened up one of her cigarettes and ate the tobacco. I was a very interesting child. And I will say, it was disgusting. So from that point on, I've never been interested in smoking cigarettes. And the stuff that's in a cigarette is not the same as chewing tobacco. I tried that and I threw up.
Really?
So I'll never do that. Oh God, dude, it's like seasickness. What's up?
You don't like chewing tobacco?
I can't do it. I got so sick. I'm scared of it. I had seasickness from it.
Dip, as they call it up here.
We call it dip too.
I don't mind it. It's definitely not something that I would do because like the yellow teeth and the lip cancer and stuff like that.
And the yellow beard.
But I have done it and I don't mind it, or I don't hate it.
How do you not get sick then?
Small quantities.
Oh yeah, I packed it like Big League Chew, man.
Exactly.
You know Big League Chew?
I'm familiar with it. I've never had it, but I know.
Well, Big League Chew is like strands of bubble gum, and you're supposed to like just take chunks out. I would just take that whole fucking wad and stick it in my mouth. That's what I did with this tobacco and put it in there. Started got a little buzz. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get addicted to this stuff. And next thing I know, I'm on my friend's swinging like. What is it in front of the house, a little swinging chair, and I'm on my side and I'm just like vomit coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, I'll never be normal again. I'll never be alive again. Like I thought the feeling would never go away. My hands are sweating thinking about it. But you're right. Like if I did a little bit, but no,
it's like smoking or anything like that. The more you do it, the more you get used to it.
I will say I do enjoy a cigar like once a year. But I can't stand the taste of my mouth the next morning. Holy crap.
It is awful.
It's like you were like gave a leather belt oral or something. I don't know. God dang, it sucks. You're like, I am the most disgusting human being in the world.
Yeah.
And it's not fun for anyone else in a 20-mile radius. You know, to you, it smells good. But to other people, like, geez, some rich bastard over there is smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Well, why don't we turn the Stevie and Andy talk show a little bit more towards, the usual stuff that we talk about. So, Stevie, tell us something cool that's happened to you in the last week.
Wow.
How's that old tooth doing? Is it fixed?
The little son of a bitch. I don't know. So last Thursday, you guys probably know I wasn't here. I don't know if you noticed. It was probably a little bit quieter, probably a little bit more tangible, but a little bit more intelligible, like when you understand something. Is that the word?
Intelligible? You could use it. It's not the right word, but
yeah,
whatever.
That's the wrong word. Anyway, too many times to count, Rachel. Too many times. I'm glad you posted that. That's good. That's Rebecca. Good material. Yeah, Rebecca's she's very quick, and she is very creative.
Oh, Rebecca, just for you today, I wrote a joke where Taya mentions penetration, and I was like, I just saw you reading it, and I knew I knew exactly what you were thinking, and so that's exactly what the character Bex thought.
I want to ask you about sexuality in your books, but real quick, I'll just say I had to get an emergency root canal. And after the root canal was done, I was supposed to take medicine in order to keep infection out. I did not. It got infected, which means there was swelling. And whenever you have a root canal and it swells, the bone swells. And I don't know if you know this, but bone doesn't swell very well. So it feels like you've got a jackhammer in your mouth, a beat with a heart, and just going. And I actually teared up from it.
Wow.
Dental pain is. When I had it, I was like, man, this is interesting. This is fantastic. And it reminded me of a scene in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein when I read that a very long time ago. And I think the doctor is having a lot of pain, and he focuses on the pain, and he notices it's an actual vibration. And he can get rid of the pain. Anyway, so that's my story about the tooth. That's why I wasn't here. I'm still in pain. I think it's still infected. But yeah, and I can't eat anything on the right side of my mouth. So
wow.
Yeah, it's fun. But I guess that's my good news. I will say, listening to Red Rising, my writing has improved tremendously. I was reading some of it today. I was like, damn. So as a writer, that just proves that you got to read, you got to listen, you got to actively read, actively listen. And you know what? I wasn't prepared, but if I know something, there is something cool, but I can't say it yet. So I can't say it just yet. But yeah, Andy, do you want to say your cool thing?
Yes, I will say my cool thing. So a couple of cool things have happened. I have continued making progress on the sort of revamping of Darkblade Assassin. I've figured out some really, really cool ways to basically turn Darkblade Assassin, Outcast, and Protector into 2 books instead of 3 longer books, probably 150 to 200,000 words each to really, sink the teeth into the meat of all the good stuff, but keep all of the important character elements. It's still not perfectly figured out. I'm looking forward to working on that in January. Let's see. Oh, I went to a consult today for laser eye surgery. So I will no longer have to wear glasses. It's going to be probably a few months before I get the surgery.
I don't like it.
Here in Canada, it's, people book out months in advance, but
tell her to get out. I don't know who it is. If it's your wife, tell her I didn't say that. I'm scared.
It's my son wearing his work boots, clomping his way down the stairs.
Did you tell me he's a welder?
Mechanic.
Okay. I got you. But you were saying?
So it'll probably be sometime mid next year that I have the surgery. But if all goes well, I will be able to see really, really well, and I won't have to wear glasses anymore. I may end up wearing, like super, super low prescription glasses when I work on the computer, or I don't know. But it'll be nice to be able to see, because like I realize that so much of what I do, it's just I can't enjoy it because I have a hard time seeing it. Like when I go snowboarding, I
What?
can't actually see the snow beneath me. So I kind of like look in the general direction of where I'm going. Or when I'm driving, I get tired really fast because my eyes are straining to focus. And even on the computer, or just throughout my life, like I've been sharpening all of my knives, got like a whetstone, and been really like enjoying that.
You're
that
such a
ritual.
fantasy author, man.
I just got into it. I just got into
author.
it in the last couple of weeks. I was sick and tired of having shitty knives, or the knives themselves are actually pretty good. But I was like, I'm sick and tired of cutting with dull knives. So I bought myself a whetstone. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and then I was like, all right, I did it. And I sharpened them, and they could actually, like do the paper cutting thing. That's sort of the test of sharpness. So I've been, sharpening the knives weekly. But it's like, you're looking down, and then my glasses just kind of like fall off. And so it's either like adjusting them every few seconds to keep them on my face, or it's just super, or I have to take off my glasses. And so I find that it is difficult. So it's going to be nice to be able to see again.
I have you ever seen those videos where the dad shaves his beard for the first time and the kids cry?
Yeah.
That's going to be me, man. Do you wear contacts?
No.
Okay. Have you ever tried to put them in?
I actually wore black colored contacts for a convention or two, and I hated it. I hated every minute.
I hated it. I put them in, man. It took me an hour and a half. My hands were shaking, and I was like, I'm scared to take them out.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're peeling off the skin of a grape, I guess. Oh, God dang. But yeah, well, dude, that's really good news.
It's a big step, but hopefully, it'll make life a lot easier. Hopefully a lot fewer headaches, a lot less fatigue. Like right now when I go to the gym, and I can't wear my glasses at the gym because they get all fogged up with sweat. And so like when I'm running and trying to read on the treadmill, literally the font's like this big to be able to see it. So it's annoying.
Wow. My grandma had them, and it's so weird to see like an 80-plus-year-old with no glasses. So, whoa. Andy, don't do it, man. Just be the same. Be the same forever.
If you want, I'll pop the glass out of these and just wear them so that you can feel like it's still me.
You know what? Here's something fun. So before I met Lisa, I got into style and fashion a little bit because I had to at some point. So I wanted to meet girls, and I couldn't just go dressed after work, because anyway. So I learned that glasses without prescriptions are called specs, and it's a normal thing to wear specs
as like a style thing.
It's like a style thing, and to me, I couldn't do it because I felt like a poser. I couldn't do it. But I will say, when I was little, I wanted to wear glasses. So I told everyone I was genetically mutated like Cyclops, and I couldn't open my eyes unless I wore reading glasses.
That is 100% something I'd expect from you, Stevie.
I went 2 days, and then the daycare had to call my parents and say he's not opening his eyes, only very little to eat and stuff. And I told my parents, well, my eyes bleed when I open up. I was committed. I was committed to being Little Robin Hood. I was committed to being Volcano Explorer. It was dangerous, man. Never wanting to be me. So now I do. Yeah. But now I get to have different little characters that I get to be.
Right? So, you get to live all these lives vicariously through the characters that you write.
Right. Okay, I do have good news. Okay. Did I tell you guys about me finishing the audiobook series of the Bizarre Blades?
Yeah.
What, like me finishing it with Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, I already said that?
That you guys cried, or you cried.
Yeah, I definitely cried. That was the second time crying. I finished it twice. I was like, but I kind of want to write another series. But it's hard to write another series because I feel like it gives away what happened in the last. But I mean, I guess we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He becomes a home. What's up?
Speaking of audiobooks, I finished recording and editing the audiobook for this anthology that's going to be released on December 1st.
What anthology?
So it's a villains anthology. I'm not exactly sure the name for the. It's going to be released in the Indie Fantasy Addicts group on Facebook. It's a bunch of authors from that group put it together, and
Oh, heck yeah.
I recorded an audiobook short story of Angel Hayes' story. And it's basically a necromancer who is killing and reanimating surrogates of his wife. Like he's trying to do this thing so that he can basically, it's his ex-wife. He wants to kill her and reanimate her. So he's going through all these other women to make sure he's got the spell just right. It's basically a necromancer serial killer. It's awesome. I had so much fun recording it, and I got to do so many fun voices for that. So I actually had a lot of fun. So I'm going to re-record the story of mine that I did before, and that's the short story prequel to the Silent Champions of Colborne's life growing up. So I'm going to record that one. That's a little over an hour of audio, and that is going to be in an anthology that's coming out sometime in spring, I believe.
You know, I was shocked because I didn't hear who wrote it before you told me about it, and then you said Angel. At first, I was shocked, but now I'm not. Like, I could see it now, Angel, but
it was so hard.
It's a great idea. I'm surprised I haven't seen that done before. It reminds me of Black Mirror stuff, you know? Black Mirror.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, so you only did the one story.
I did. I just did the one story. I wanted to take a crack at it to see what went into it. It was basically between 6 and 8 hours of work for just under an hour of audio. So it is very, very involved. But I think I actually sent the file to my dad, who's a professional musician. And he was like the sound levels were good. The mixing was good. Everything was balanced. And it was as close to a professional quality product as I could make it. And, he said it was good. I sent it to my brother, who's an actor. He was like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Your brother's an actor.
Yeah.
And your dad's a musician.
Yes.
And you're a writer.
Yeah. And I've got artist sisters, and my younger brother is also a writer / creative journalist. And my mom's right. Like, everybody in my family is super artistic.
Whoa. So y'all are all right-minded, or is it left-minded?
Right, I think, artistic.
Right. So I was actually, because I read so much weird stuff that the right-minded side and the left-sided stuff, that's true. Like, it's actually, it's concrete. Like, that's the side of the brain that you use. And some people use the different sides a different amount. But if you do stuff like this, and it's called, the lazy 8 thing, you're actually using both sides of the brain. And if you're trying to do something logical and creative at the same time, you follow your finger on the figure 8 thing. And that's actually proven to start warming at both sides. I don't know. It's interesting stuff. And because I caught on to that because I was researching, Shinobi stuff and kind of the stupid, crazy crap that they used to do. But so I do have good news. I finally figured it out. Lisa and I created a channel, and so I have a law of attraction channel that you guys know of, and it was so slow to take off, and it finally has taken off. Mine and Lisa's channel, within a week, we got 20 subscribers, and a lot of them were people not from my Facebook group, and so many comments, and I got 300% more views on one video than I would on an average Kai video.
Is that the ENFP boyfriend or whatever?
Yeah, so I will share the link with it. I mean, not to turn anyone away from this channel, but if you're wanting to see just kind of me and Lisa having fun, you know what I'm saying, go check out this channel. But we're not doing it for money or anything like that. We both really like the Myers-Briggs thing. And I think a lot of people here will find it funny to see me with someone like Lisa. It's like a trapeze, and you have the balancing act, Is that a trapeze?
No, that's a seesaw. Trapeze is the swings that people hang on to and fly between them.
I was talking about the where they're tight lining, right?
Tightrope walking.
Tightrope. Have you seen the video of that guy falling?
No.
You should go check it out. It's like it's like he's just defeated. Because I saw it and I was like, oh, there's probably a net. And then you read the YouTube description. It's like Gilbert Robichaud died 1969.
Oh wow.
And it's like, and then there's another one. I know it's a little dark. Yeah, Rashawn, thank you for your support, man. I really appreciate it. And my brother showed it to me and I thought it was fake, but it's a guy created a flying machine and it's got wings, man. And he gets to the top of the Eiffel Tower and he jumps off. And they're playing like that old timey music that you turn in the box.
The grinder.
And he just goes,
yeah, something.
But with the music, it's so inappropriate. But
Organ grinder, that's the one.
Organ grinder with the little monkey going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff's allowed on YouTube, and I did not know that.
Yeah, YouTube's got a lot of really, really deep, dark holes. Rebecca, you're welcome to do with that as you will. There's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff on there that is just so not cool. Yeah,
I tend to stick to the nicer things on YouTube. I already have a surprisingly dark mind, which, not to keep up bringing up ENFPs, but that's just what the ENFPs do. We have a surprisingly dark mind. Andy, I'm dying over here, man. I am freaking dying.
What are you dying about?
You know what I'm dying about.
All right, take it away, Stevie.
You want me to do it?
Do it.
I'm too sad to do it.
If you're dying, then it means you have to do it.
Okay. Guys, Andy and I have some good news and we have some bad news. But I will say the good news is great news, but the bad news is just kind of somber. But sad. Yeah, it's sad. So in the comments, I want to see if you want good news or bad news. Great news or bad news. And I'll wait. And no, what do you think, Andy? Should I just say it?
I'm up for it. I'm interested to see what people are
okay.
Choose. Rebecca, we are not getting married in where we are in our relationship. We're not quite there yet.
Not yet. Our
wives / friends are not super on board with it yet, but it'll happen one day.
I mean, Andy is a gold and I'm a red, so bloody hell. Gory hell is what I would say. Yeah. I love that freaking stuff, man.
Yeah. All right. The people have spoken that they want the bad news, Stevie.
Of course they do. That's our audience. They just want the bad. They're so macabre, man. So this is the last episode of the Fantasy Fiends show. God, dude, it kills me.
It really does.
It's sad.
It does. It's very sad, but this will be the last episode of the Fantasy Fiends show officially. It will be the last weekly episode of the Fantasy Fiends show. When we have guests like Nicholas Eames that we want to bring on, or when we have someone that absolutely that is awesome, we're going to come back and we're going to have an awesome interview and all of that. But for now, the Fantasy Fiends show will go on hiatus. Were you crying a little bit, Stevie?
I told myself I wasn't, man. And I was like, the great news fixes it. But I don't know. It's something we started. It's our little baby. And now we're throwing it off the cliff because it was weak and we are the Spartans.
Yes. It's definitely not that dramatic. We're not throwing it off a cliff.
So
it's just that. So the Fantasy Fiends show, we started to hang out together on
really, that was it.
And to have fun reading and to talk awesome fantasy stuff and all of that. And it's been a ton of fun. It's been a great way to grow. It's been a great way to hang out with each other. See, we've bonded.
Holy shit, man. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Holy shit.
But
I can't even...
Okay, so for people who are saying that their Thursdays are going to be empty, they will not be empty.
They're not.
Stevie and I are not disappearing from your Thursday nights. We are shifting our focus slightly. We will still be hanging out every Thursday night, but we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons together, Stevie and I. Initially, the adventure was going to be called The Giant and the Gnome, but it's not exactly, a catchy title. So we're going to be playing a game, and it's called Blood and Thunder, because Stevie he's playing a blood hunter, human, and I will be playing a storm giant who sees Stevie and calls him Gnome. So it's basically going to be the giant and the gnome by another name. But we're going to be going on many, many more adventures together. And I think that it's keeping a lot of the stuff that we loved about the Fantasy Fiends dynamic, in the sense that you guys enjoyed us doing ridiculous voices and having fun. I'm pretty sure we're going to still do it. I still haven't figured out what my giant voice is going to be, but I will figure it out.
It's going to be better, guys. We're actually going to be on air longer. So
we're going to be doing 90-minute sessions.
Yeah. And Andy, I want to be able to talk to the audience. We're still doing that, right? Like just a little bit, kind of like what we do now.
Yeah, you can definitely interact in the chat and stuff for sure.
Okay.
But we are going to have Sir Doran, Mr. Tony Gallo himself. He's going to be being our dungeon master. He's going to be leading the game. Rebecca, we are going to be us in all the ways that matter. I am still going to be like, the character that I'm playing is like a slightly more intellectual person who likes calligraphy, writing, research, knowing things. Stevie is going to play the ADD blood hunter who
ADD
anything.
Yeah, he's so in my head he's me if I were a little bit more vain. The charisma's there, but he thinks he's like the shit. And of course I'm guessing he's always going to get like turned down by women and stuff, but that's going to be me. And can I tell him my character name or?
Yeah, for sure.
So I am Blink Savage, blood hunter, aristocrat, ladies man, and musician.
Musician, huh? That's an interesting.
A little bit, yeah. So I actually have a background I could read if you want.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Let me go to it. But Jesus, dude, that killed me. That freaking killed me. And I didn't know it was gonna like do this to me. Like, I don't know. It's sad that this is ending, but it's gonna be on the same channel. I don't know if we're changing the name of the channel.
No, it's gonna be on the Deranged and Questing. It is Deranged and Questing Blood and Thunder. So it's gonna be on Twitch. It's gonna be Thursday night at the exact same time. We will still be your Thursday night entertainment. And especially because it's us just having fun and enjoying fantasy. I think in a way that I know for me, being able to play the Monday night game has been so invigorating creatively. I've had so much more fun being that character. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And you know what? If we decide that we need to bring the Fantasy Fiends show back, the YouTube channel is going to remain exactly the same. Mm-hmm. You guys are all in my reader group and Stevie's reader group, so you're going to know exactly when we're coming back, what we're doing. We're not disappearing. We're just shifting our focus slightly because it's been a lot of fun interviewing guests.
Andy pitched it to me a couple weeks ago, and it was funny because I had a feeling that it should end because we weren't making money off of it. It was really for the reading and really just for Andy and I to hang out. And that's what Andy said. It's like, man, I was just doing this to hang out. I was like, yeah, me too. So let's switch it to something fun where it's our personalities work so well together. We'll just play off of that and we could probably make money off of this. So I think it's going to be huge. And I'm more into it than the Fantasy Fiends. I'll be more prepared for it. I've never played a D&D campaign before, and I've read all the manuals.
I will say this, that I've had so much fun playing it that I'm excited to play it together with you, to see the way, because basically the dynamic between our two characters is basically going to be exactly like this, in the sense that unlikely friends, but nothing like there's not going to be any character bickering. You know, it's going to be us, just slightly more dramatized versions of ourselves in all the best ways. And the stories are going to be a ton of fun. Tony's got some pretty epic adventures ahead, and I think it's going to have all of our quirks. Like my guy he's a battle master, which is, you know, a badass in battle, and yet every battle master sort of has an understanding of one artisan's specialty. And I love the idea of this big 9-foot giant who loves calligraphy. because that's in a way so much of who I am. I am this big old guy, I've always done sports. I've done, martial arts. I snowboard, I kayak, and yet I'm a total nerd at heart. And I think being able to play that in a character is going to be so different from a character like Grax Skullcrusher, who's just like, kill, kill, kill. So it's going to be really fun. And it's going to help me, pull out a little bit more of my acting chops, which is going to be great for when I record more audiobooks. And it's going to be fun.
Dang it, man. I can't stop.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
To feel, Stevie.
I grew up, in South Texas. Everyone knows I always say it, but I was really stifled as a kid. I wasn't allowed to use the word cute, beautiful, pretty. I wasn't allowed to use those words because I was a man. And crying to me was a new thing to allow myself to do, like early 20s. And that's just sad. And I cry about that too. No, I don't. I'm not a big crier. I'm a more eye-watery guy kind of thing. And I'm not just saying that to be masculine, but to be masculine. One time I told somebody I slept in jeans all day. Like I slept in jeans. Yeah. Cause I wanted to, why am I telling y'all this shit? It's just ammo. Okay. If I can stop with the nose, are you guys ready to hear Blink Savage? I can't hear you. Really, I can't hear you. Please type it. The only big thing Stevie has is his wiener. Thanks, Vernon. Yes. See, on the show, I can say whatever I want. So, okay. Jesus Christ, my nose. Okay. Blink Savage, everybody. Ah, yes. Blink Savage. A true free spirit who thinks he's the coolest were-tiger in the Samarlund jungle. He's as charismatic as they come and would lend the cloak over his shoulder to a friend in need. However, he would never dare let anyone borrow his beloved loot. He's so lovingly named Lisa. She loved that. Dude, I'm going to make so many innuendos. Rebecca, I need your help with the loot innuendos. Okay. Andy, I knew you're going to love that part. I was hoping you didn't read it. But don't let his outward bravado fool you. On the inside, he's twisted and torn, being selectively bred into a very rich, aristocratic family. Blink never truly fit in. One day, at the age of 8, Blink witnesses his best friend, Tormax, slaughtered by a banshee seeking fresh meat. His parents reprimanded Blink for playing with the help's son. They punished Blink for his friend's blood having stained their cobblestone entranceway. Once he was older, Blink was forced to attend the most expensive university for scholarly studies. The young, rebellious aristocrat went along with it, knowing deep down he would escape as soon as his personal bodyguards turned their backs. But that's when Blink met a new friend, one with a deep, dark secret, one that would change Blink's life forever. Blink discovers a secret order, one which resides underground beneath the precious university. Within this group train fierce, macabre warriors who choose to sacrifice their own blood to vanquish their ghoulish enemies. While studying at the university during the day, and they like Blink. They like him a lot. This and the fact Blink would now have a chance to get his revenge for the killing of his childhood friend. Blink agrees to join the order. While studying at the university during the day, Blink studies at night for the agonizing trials of the Hunter's Bane. After many years of study, he succeeds in completing the long-guarded ritual. Blink then forever binds himself to the darkness with his own life's blood. He becomes the worst nightmare his parents could have ever imagined. Blink Savage is a blood hunter. Pretty good.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Pretty cool.
I wrote that in 10 minutes on my phone. And when I say bred to an aristocratic family, I was thinking Red Rising.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm also going to be studying how to do a British accent because I'm not good at a British accent, but they have courses. So,
which British accent?
I have no clue, man. Not Cockney?
Cockney, yeah.
Cockney, not Cockney.
You probably want to go with the Oxford accent.
I am going to put that in the bookmarks right now because I did not know that was a thing.
So the Oxford accent is the one that most people associate with the aristocracy. It's that very precise, the highfalutin sounding accent that's very aristocratic.
Oh yeah, dude, that's not fair. You already have it.
Well, so I haven't worked on the Giant's voice yet because I need to figure out just what's realistic. Because if I try to do like this really deep booming Giant's voice, it's going to be hard to hear, and it could be difficult to keep up. Like if we have to carry on a conversation.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes. Thank you, Regine. That RP accent is actually it's received pronunciation, I believe it's called. That is another good option. It's just not really. He said BBC presenter accent. It's just sort of the classic British, what people consider a classic British. It's not quite posh and uppity, but it's sort of classic.
I had no clue that there were these.
There's so many. So when I was recording the audiobook for this Colborne story, The Path to Hope, I worked on the Manchester accent, the Manc accent, and that one is brutal. Like they have this whole cadence to the way that they speak, and they switch out a bunch of sounds and they drop their H's. Like it's a lot of fun, but I have to like see the text in front of me to actually be able to do it.
See, I have to learn by making fun of them, which sounds worse than it is. That's how I got the French accent, was just overdoing it when I spoke the language. So I feel like I have to do that with English, but just everyone pardon the English accent at the beginning. It's going to get better. I promise, because I will be working at it. I'm telling you, I really want to put everything I have into this show. I think it's going to be great.
I think it's going to bring out the little bit of actor in you that you haven't been able to sort of explore for a long time.
Yes, that's, you know what? I'm actually losing body fat to get headshots again, because Austin has a grow. I think I told you guys this, but oh yeah, Austin has a growing theatrical and film industry, but I just refuse to go to LA to do it. So like, if there's an audition here, heck, I'll just go do it. But yeah, that's guys, did we get you? Did we get y'all?
Don't roll this back and tell them it's a joke, because that's what they're expecting / hoping for. This is not a drill, guys. This is actually happening. Although I will say
this is not a drill.
That on the weeks when, let's say, Tony Gallo can't run the campaign, or when we need a break between it, then we can bring back a classic Stevie and Andy Fantasy Fiends episode and have a lot of fun. Or we can also do like Rashun said, a Fantasy Fiends after party, or a Blood and Thunder. You know how like there's the Talking Dead that discusses the Walking Dead episodes, or there's all the, the shows, the after shows. We can do an after show of some sort.
I think it's going to get that big. And I also want to invest in better thumbnails, or at least one thumbnail with that, kind of like Critical Role does, and they use the same one, which I talked to you about doing with the Fantasy Fiends, but we're both like, the Fantasy Fiends, you just can't market. It's unfortunate, but people don't want to come listen to random guest authors unless they're huge. And sucks.
It's a different show than what's out there, but it's possible that it's too different in the wrong way. So like there's shows like Keystroke Medium, or Writing Excuses, or all these ones that are really focused on writers, which is super important and super necessary. But a show like the Fantasy Fiends is taking a different angle at it. And while it's awesome for us to be able to get the people who watch it, it is something that you guys have loved for years. Finding other viewers to expand has proven difficult. Over the last year, we've gotten maybe 50 subscribers to the channel, and it's still the same viewers every single week. So this is hopefully a chance for us to get a little bit bigger, to have a little bit more, or a lot more fun, and try something new.
And a compliment to everybody watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I think Andy and I would have stopped a long time ago.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really, guys, thank you so much. And we're doing you a service. This is going to be more valuable to you guys. I think you come for Andy and Stevie. You come for us a lot. And dang it. I lost my train of thought. I hate when I do that, when I make a stupid joke and then I don't remember the thing I was going to say. Oh, we're going to give you more value. You're going to have more fun. You're going to get to see more of Andy and I. It's not like we're going to be in character the whole time. And like Andy said, we're going to have the after party stuff. We're going to celebrate new goals with subscribers stuff. I would even go as far, Andy, as saying merch, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want a Blink Savage shirt. I have a shirt from my World of Warcraft clan. We can get it for this, you know?
Let's do it. We just need some art.
Dude.
Ooh,
Ooh,
actually, speaking of art,
cool. Oh,
here
you're
we
gonna.
go.
I
Here we
thought,
go to lift the spirits
yeah, I
of
need
people
it.
who might be a little bit downcast about this outcome. I have something that I have literally only shown 2 people or 3 people thus far that I will now show all of y'all.
Who was the other one? Who was the other guy?
One of the people who are my like super hardcore readers, beta readers.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Okay, so I will show you.
I drew this, by the way.
Stevie did not draw this. Do not let him take credit for it.
I drew it in Paint, Microsoft Paint. I hope everyone knows what that is. It's still around, right? Yeah, it is.
Microsoft Paint? Oh, hell yeah. I use it all the time. Boom.
Yeah, I remember drawing this.
So this is one of the new covers that I will be putting on the Hero of Darkness series when I get around to reworking Darkblade Assassin and the other ones. And I love it. It is so much like a lot of my favorite Assassin covers. It's like basically what I did is I told the art, like I collected Shadow Dance by David Dalglish, Night Angel, and like 2 or 3 other of my favorite Assassin series, and showed it to the artist and said, make me something that looks like this. And
can I just say my favorite part of it is the armor. I mean, I want that for the Renaissance Fair.
It is awesome.
God, it kind of also reminds me of Butcher's kind of like overcoat kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Even though that's not it, but I like that idea. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. I like looking at it.
It is really awesome, but it's just the first one. So ultimately the Hero of Darkness series is probably going to be about 11 books at least. Because I'm combining some of books 1, 2, and 3 together into book 1 and 2. It's gonna see a little bit of an overhaul, which is gonna make it so much more awesome. But then I've still got, I believe I have another 7 books that I need to write in the series to wrap up the story properly. So there's gonna be a lot of really awesome art coming out for that series.
Man, it's crazy to look back and look now. Like I was like just done with the 4 territories. And I will tell you guys, when I wrote the 4 territories, in my mind, I thought it was the best thing ever written. And I'm not lying. Like to me, it was gold. It was the ring. It was everything. And I was walking through the universe because I was still going to university when I met Andy. That's how way back this goes. And now I'm an old man. And I found gray hair today, like a lot of it. I was like, what the fuck's going on? No, I don't. I like the brown. What the hell was I saying? Oh. Yeah, so I was holding the book and I thought this is the best thing ever. And I'm going to send it to all these agencies. And then I picked up the book, Write, Publish, Repeat. And I was like, oh my God, I just showed me how little I knew. And then when I messaged Andy, I actually thought he's never going to respond. He's too busy being the big author guy. And here we are. And now I realize that the 4 territories is not a piece of crap. I still get people writing me about it, which is fantastic. Yeah. It just makes me excited for the stuff I have today. But wow. If I hadn't had that initial feeling though, Andy, I wouldn't have stayed. You know,
I actually had the same thought when I wrote The Hunter. I was like, okay, I've never read a character like this. I've never read a character who combined all these things in this very specific way, and I still haven't to this day. You know, it takes the best of the Punisher, it takes the best of Durzo Blint, it takes the best of Wolverine, it takes the best of a lot of different characters and puts them together in this character that I am still incredibly proud of. In fact, I'm so proud of The Hunter that I am going to rewrite his story to make it as awesome as it could be and continue writing his story even after... It's been, I think, with Cerberus book 12, that will be 37 novels that I've written. 37 full-length novels. It's been a minute. I think when we started this, it was still called Blade of the Destroyer. It still had that black and red cover. Like that's how long we've been going. So
Oh
So
my God, dude.
we have grown so much as authors and as people over the last few years. So this is definitely very, very cool and important moment.
Do you want to go back and just show a little bit of the old stuff?
No, I
You
don't.
sure?
I don't want to remember how much farther down my forehead my hairline was. I've got to be okay with who I am today.
I'm looking at it now, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, you're such a baby. And you know what? In 10 years now, man, when Blink Savage and Toron, is that right?
So one of the running
Okay.
jokes of the show is that he's going to correct everybody about how they pronounce his name, no matter how close they get it. Like even if they get it right, he's going to correct them. Like they do that. They do that in Ted Lasso. A character's name Zorro, and they keep calling him Zorro, and they keep correcting him. And I love it when they do that. It's this weird little quirk. Or in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they do that for the kid Nicolaj. No, it's Nicolaj. That's why I said Nicolaj. No, Nicolaj.
Lisa loves that show.
It is hilarious.
The show I really like that no one's heard of is that supermarket show.
Superstore?
Superstore. I love that show.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit more silly, which is what I want. In a nastier way than hey, if I share my screen, I just want to show me. I'm not going to show me, okay. I swear. Is that cool?
Yeah.
My freaking nose. So this is me.
Look at this kid.
Wow. I was living with my parents on that one. This is my Boba Fett, which I still have. This is all my brother's stuff. We're both big into Assassin's Creed. These are actual custom weapons. And this is, yeah, that is it. And looking at me now, it's wow.
Well, also, like if you look at the changes that you've made in your professional life, right?
Oh yeah.
The changes in your personal life, you were still together with that original girlfriend, and now you're a long way away from that.
You know what? My brother brought her up a couple weeks ago, and she was a monster. And I actually spoke to my French teacher when I got with Lisa, and he told me that he called her a bitch in French. And I was shocked about his bluntness, but enough talking about her. But yeah, that was a bad time. That was a really bad time. You can go back and see the episodes where that shit was going on. It's really sad. But you know what? It made me stronger. So little Stevie had his heart broken. But yeah, now it's the best. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And if you go watch my ENF penis, you'll see that. So... But yeah, guys, I'm excited to have so many more years of hanging out with you. And I want to know, will you continue watching? I'd like to see in the comments. If you are watching and you have access to commenting, will you continue watching us as Blink Savage and Toron?
Torin
Squallborn. Amazing. Are you like the smart giant?
So I think the way that I'm going to play it is that the giant, because he's half giant, right? And the giants are very insular. So he was like abandoned and raised by monks, which is how he became a battle master or something. And so it's like he's not going to be giant society. I'm not exactly sure what his story is going to be, and I'm going to figure it out when it comes a little bit closer to show date. Rebecca, it's going to be on Twitch. It's going to be
that's right,
on Deranged and Questing D&D. Just the same channel, just another extra night. So you guys get to hang out with us like you do on Monday nights, Thursday nights, same place, 5:30 Pacific time, which is 7:30 Central time and 8:30 Eastern time. So
Twitch is also better. I think you can do a lot of really cool stuff on Twitch, soundboard stuff.
Yeah.
Also, guys, what I'm going to do for y'all, and I already have the setup. I have a heart rate monitor that connects to the computer that connects to Twitch. And so y'all can see my heartbeat, like if it intensifies or whatever. It sounds weird now that I've said it out loud, but I think it's cool. But I actually wanted to ask for Christmas, like a soundboard, but I don't know if everyone on Twitch can use it, meaning like if I'm not the head guy of the Twitch channel, if I can use it or not, but we'll figure all that stuff out. But on YouTube, if so, then okay, yeah, I probably won't. I can't stream Twitch very well. Really, it doesn't.
She's got some internet, a different internet setup at her place that has been problematic.
Oh man, I'm sure we can figure something out.
The problem is to stream to Twitch, it's got to be exclusive to Twitch for 24 hours after it goes live. So it is the only place where we can go live. We can copy the content and upload it to YouTube, but to go live, it's only on Twitch.
I wonder if we could figure a way around, not to break Twitch's thing, but maybe like streaming it at a lower quality, Rebecca. I know that sucks, but the only problem with Fantasy Fiends is just we've grown so much that now we're just incredibly freaking busy. I don't even know how me and my dad are going to keep up with business this year for Christmas. So we had to do something. And I told Lisa, I've warned everyone in my family, I want to join the Adventure League and do Dungeons and Dragons one time a week so I can be creative in that way. And this was the perfect thing to do. Now it kicks away the Fantasy Fiends and I can do this. But I know with my heart it's going to be better.
It's going to be awesome.
Because there were weeks that I was like, oh crap, I have the podcast tonight. I'm, and not to be mean, but we might have someone on there who is a little bit more quiet. And then there were, I've been wanting to tell you guys this for a long time. When we had a guest who didn't talk, I had to talk. And I would always be really upset afterwards. And I would go talk to Lisa. I'm like, Lisa, I made a fool of myself today. And she'd be like, no, you didn't. No, you were fine. I was like, no, I felt like a fool because when no one is talking, and as a podcast, you can't have downtime. Not even in Twitch. You're supposed to just continuously talk. And I'm good at that. But with that comes the caveat of me looking a little bit more foolish and a little bit less intellectual. And Andy, I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
But that was really hard for me. It really bothered me for some reason. But with the new Dungeons and Dragons thing, that's not going to be a problem anymore. So I was always a little bit nervous if we're going to have, it's hard to talk for an hour. It is difficult, which is why I have every freaking time I want to see if I can see myself through it. That's okay. I also will say that I thought, if Lisa's, I want to tell Lisa this in person. Do you know Santa's baby? No, not Santa's baby. Santa caught cheating under the mistletoe.
Yeah.
I was at I was a little bit older when I realized that was still the kid's dad.
Yeah.
And I hated that song. I was like, this is sacrilege. This is cheating. This is adultery. And I would get so mad as a kid hearing it. I was so Catholic, It's like, no, that's not right, Daddy. And then, like maybe 15 years old, you're like, oh, that's the dad.
All right. Well, Stevie, it is time to sign off the last Fantasy Fiends show for the time being.
Why you got to do that? So when are we going to be back?
We are officially going live with Blood and Thunder on December 3rd. Next week, all y'all south of the border got to have your Thanksgiving. We in Canada have celebrated already. We are thankful earlier in the year than you. So next week is Thanksgiving. There will be no show on Thursday next week, Thursday the 26th, the day before my birthday. Reminder, Stevie.
When is it?
November 27th. Friday is my birthday.
That's right. I was making sure you knew.
Yeah, that's good. I expect a present delivered to my front door, bows, kisses, all of that, everything.
And perfume.
Absolutely. Scented letter. And then December 3rd, Thursday, December 3rd, we will go live with the first episode of Deranged and Questing Blood and Thunder. It'll probably be what's called a session 0 in the sense that it's introducing sort of the backstory of the character, introducing the dynamic and all of that. So I've never actually done a session 0, so I'm super excited to see what it's all about.
Dude, this sucks. I will say I got the intro right today.
I know.
I did. I made sure I did.
170 episodes, and you got it right.
Finally. All right, Andy, you ready?
Let's do it. Sign us out, Stevie.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed this awesome episode of the Fantasy Fiends podcast. We hope you enjoyed your stay. We want you to continue coming over and watching us be us. We love you all, and we will see you soon. This is not the end, but a new beginning. This is Stevie Collier and Andy Peliquin signing out for the last time on Fantasy Fiends, but we will be back. Love you all, and happy holidays.